welcome to another edition of the Berto and Lex Show. I am Botusimo, and that is Leximus
Maximus Aurelius.
Nice, I like that. All right, one of the things, I was just cruising down the street just the other day, right?
In my 6'4".
Cruising down the street in my 6'4". You got to really punch it on that line.
Yeah.
You know that movie's out, right?
And not only is the movie out, it's doing really well.
I know. Of course it's good. I actually wanted to go see that movie, actually. Did you see this? I can't tell what it is. It looks like a cross between... it's all red. It's shiny red and chrome, black windows, and it looks like an El Camino, but not an El Camino. I can't tell what it is. If you ever get a chance, go down the street that's down here.
Down Beatty's Ford?
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah. I saw that car the other day.
What is it?
I don't know.
It's hot. That thing is hot. I want that.
I thought it was like an old Caprice or something. I couldn't tell what it was.
I couldn't tell what it was. But anyway, so I was thinking about after I saw that car, I was like, I said it would be cool to build something. Like because I always got my truck, I'm a big truck guy, this and that. I was thinking about like what kind of car to build. He's like, okay, juices are flowing. So I was thinking about what type of car to build, and I'm on the fence because I really like new stuff. I really like new technology. I really like the newer vehicles. I really like the Camaros, the anything. I mean, the Chargers, the Challengers, they're all out today. Oh, I lost them. No, but I really like the newest stuff, but I'm trying to figure out, like, if I wanted to bring something like older, like an older body style, what would it be? And like either like a Nova or a Chevelle. I know how plain they are as far as like everybody's got them, right? They're very common cars that get done up. But those, for some reason, I think with a couple little tricks in here, I would like to see one of those things like lowered, but not lowered from a lower stance. But I would love to see that thing slammed, like a silver, like maybe like a Chevelle, silver Chevelle. I'm not sure what year. Maybe like a 70, 71, maybe a 72. I'm not sure, but silver, right? No chrome. So we had to figure out something with the bumpers.
Yeah,
I know, and then lowered, tubbed. Am I talking your language?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Something healthy so it looks stock, right? Because you don't have no blower sticking out or nothing like that.
You just want it lean and mean.
Lean and mean.
Little sexy.
But when you start it up, people know you're there. But not like obnoxious. Like, I don't want to go, I want to.
I thought I was in like a grunge rock concert right now. I thought it was like the entry to like a Metallica concert or something. I don't know what I was doing.
That's what I want.
There's two different ways you can go with that. I think that you're not into like the carbureted obnoxious motors, or
see, and I thought about that too. Like, do I want carbureted? Do I want maybe like to upgrade the motor to a later motor, like what they call LT motors? Is it?
Wow. Surprises me sometimes.
Wow, what do you mean surprise you?
LS motors and stuff.
I watch Counts Customs.
Okay, yes, that is a big thing nowadays. It's called LS swap. So what people are doing is that they
put the newer motors in, right?
Well, they're the newer motors. They're not like the brand new, unless you could afford one of the brand new, stuff, but LS9s and stuff like that, all the newer stuff. But even the 90s and early 2000s and stuff like that, they had an LS version, the early LS, LS3s and stuff, where it's basically you're dropping a fuel-injected engine into an older car. I mean, and
you modernize it because, like, you put the modern brake systems on and this and that, and you're modernizing.
Yeah, what you're talking about, I don't know if you know the lingo.
That's what I don't know the term. What they call that?
That's called a resto mod.
Resto, that's what it was.
So you're restoring it resto, but you're modifying.
Right.
So it's a little bit of new stuff, a little bit. You're not restoring it back to stock.
Right.
You're making it modernized. So resto mod is what they call it. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I do kind of want to tinkle in that a little bit. Not for me. So if you wanted to just, I'd be totally on board. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because I don't play with a lot of Chevy stuff. I used to back in the day.
Yep.
But what they do is the LS motor. The great thing about the LS motor, and a lot of guys know that I'm a Ford guy, true and true.
Yes, he is.
But the LS motor.
I was going to say you're wearing a Ford racing hat. No, was it the hell furniture racing?
Furniture road. It's a NASCAR team.
Oh.
So my good friend's cousin is on the team. So.
Okay.
So anyway, the LS motor is a very strong motor that takes a lot of its derivatives. So I'm not claiming this or whatever to be, choosing sides here. But it uses a lot of old technology that Ford came out with years ago that makes the engine block stronger, and it's got a lot of different design
older stuff, but with newer,
Yeah, it takes some of the strengths from a lot of different engines and stuff and everything. So Chevy came out with this LS motor a few years back, and it's very successful because it can handle a lot of power. That's mainly the reason. And you can get them cheap now.
I know.
You can go to a junkyard and get like an LS motor for like a couple $100.
What?
Yeah.
That cheap?
There a lot of them are aluminum too. There's different ones. There's different variants of them, but anyway, you can get a cheap one for a few $100. So check this out. What a lot of guys do is they take them and they put them in old Chevys, blah blah. But they also take them and put them in. Now it's like this thing now. LS swapping it. They put them in everything.
Fords, everything.
You know how many Fox body Mustangs have LS motors in them now?
Really?
Oh my God, it's like the newest thing. We even sell, at my speed shop, LS motor swap mounts for different vehicles.
So you could put that motor.
You want to put an LS in an old like GMC Jimmy, or an S10?
Really?
We have in stock. That's the weird part. It's kind of it's cool in a way. I mean, even though I'm like a Ford guy, so I'm not big into them. But it's really cool. I mean, it adds. This is what it is. This is what I try to tell people. The hot rod industry is just like any other industry. It has waves. It has fads. It has everything. Right.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So this is the fad that we're in. We're in the LS swap fad. They call it LS swap, and we're in the turbo fad, the turbo phase, and everything. Because turbo, you can make a lot of power.
Right.
Now, if you put a turbo on an LS motor, that's the new thing. I mean. These guys are getting 700-800 horsepower like that.
So now I know you're on the function side. So just so everybody knows, so he's more function, okay? And I am the style. I like the way things look. So you're talking about this. So I like the way things look and also sound. So it sounds like this setup that you're going to put in here. So if you drop that in there, right? Now, what horse are we talking? I mean, is it going to be beefy?
Well, you don't even have to go the turbo route. You can go just an LS swap with a basic package in it, and they get 400 horsepower, no problem.
Right, and that goes right to the wheels.
Well, I mean, obviously, you can do other things to the car to make it, get more of that power to the wheels. But yeah, you're going to lose a little parasitic drag is what it's called over the course of the car, But you're going to lose some no matter what. But that's the thing is that if you're not getting into it for drag race and this and that, blah blah. You're looking for a cruiser, you take an old Nova, maybe you find like an early 70s Nova that's not exactly the prime ones that everybody pays the most for, like the late 60s or the box Novas of the mid 60s. You get like an early 70s Nova that still looks kind of cool because it's still so old looking and muscle looking. You can get one of those on the cheap, get an LS motor from the junkyard. This is what a lot of guys do, believe it or not. LS, freshen it up or whatever, it's not drop it in. And all the stuff is there. I mean, you can have a good time for a relatively cheap price.
And that's the thing is like, and as far as like some of the older model Novas and Chevelles and stuff like that, you can, I mean, because I always see the same thing. You always see that stance like that a Nova has, right? I want to change that, but like, how much can I change where I start impacting the function of like, let's say if I was, say drag street, I want it to look good. I want to change its stance. Like I want to like when I see box Novas, like especially with the tubbed out rears, you ever see those things? And like it's all tire in the back, right? But it looks like it's swallowed a big ball, and it's just like how do I go about changing that where I can change the dynamics of it where I'm not impacting, where I want to lower it a little bit because I see the stance is always so high. But I don't like that. I want it lower just a little bit. I want those wheels snugged in a little bit more, especially the front wheels. You know what I'm talking about? How they have the stance up pretty high? Is that, or am I going to impact the function of it?
Well, the primary thing that you have to worry about is wheel and tire size. I mean, if you want to go with a big wheel and tire package, then obviously it's going to be harder because you have to fit a bigger object in a smaller area. And remember, wheel wells back in those days weren't the size that they are today.
Right.
Cars today come with 20-inch wheels. So they have more room in the wheel wells. Where back then, 20-inch wheels never existed.
Right.
Not even 18s.
I know, that's crazy.
A lot of those muscle cars came with 14-inch wheels and 15-inch wheels, and that was it. There was no such thing as a 16 and 17-inch wheel even back then. So you got to understand there's a little bit of a challenge with that. But that's actually not hard. I mean, if you want to get a decent wheel package, because a lot of resto mods, you go with a slightly bigger wheel because it makes it look more modern.
Right.
17s and 18s. I just did one on a 68 Firebird. We did a setup where the guy wanted 18-inch torque thrust wheels on his 68 Firebird, but didn't want to modify anything. So I figured out roughly what's the biggest tire he can go with without rubbing.
Right.
We fit it on. And
looks good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, what you just said, I'm like, if you want this car to really be awesome, you got to tuck the front wheels a little, just to come down a little bit in the front, tuck the back a hair or whatever. And he said it when I brought it out to the front of the speed shop, and he was like, you are absolutely right. This wheel and tire package looks great, fits great. It's got a bigger tire on it. I'm going to tuck it now, and it's a cruiser. And looks mean too.
Yeah. But when you're saying tuck, it's like actually, because he's got a gap, so you can see the top of the wheel past the wheel well.
Yeah. The gap is, this is the rule of thumb. This is what I tell people, because I'm into the geometry of the aesthetics. This is what I get into. I'm not going to sit there and get the $10,000 paint job and do all this kind of stuff or whatever. But I wanted something to look mean. The rule of thumb is whatever thickness of your tire. This is what I came up with like years ago. Whatever thickness your tire sidewall is, say it's 3 inches or whatever, or 2 inches or whatever, the gap should never be more than that.
Oh, that's a good rule.
That's the perfect way to look at it. If your tire is 3 inches, your gap should never be more than that.
Okay.
Now, mind you, to me, that's still a little high.
Right.
If you want to tuck it or whatever. But at least if you use that rule of thumb, it'll look good.
But now, are you saying from the wheel, from the rim to the top of the tread?
Just the side of the tire sidewall. So from the rim itself to the top of the tread. That sidewall is called of the tire.
Yeah.
Just that side. Whatever that, measure that. If it's 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, whatever it is, the wheel gap should never be more than that.
Okay.
So it should be 3 inches of tire, 3 inches of gap.
Okay, I got you.
Right? So if you have 2 inches of tire, 2 inches of gap, that'll look even better. If you have 1 inch of tire and 1 inch of gap, that's low. That's lean and mean.
I probably got to start putting some high-level mock-ups or some quick renderings of what this car might look like.
I really would love to do like something Nova with the LS motor, and just a mild motor with a nice exhaust, rumbly.
Just like, I don't need it to be balls to the wall fast and going down the street doing 9s or 8s. I mean, I just want something that's just fun, that's just respectable, and it's just, you can cruise into a car show and you can talk about it. That's my biggest thing, is always talking about what you put into the car and what work you do to it. All right. Thanks for another edition of the Berto Show.
Happy hot rodding, folks.